So, um, as we stated at the beginning of the show, the Clone Wars season 7 premiered last Sunday. It premiered a year ago
Yeah,
on
that
Disney
was a quick
Plus.
year. Whew.
Wow, man,
A
it does
lot's
That
not
happened
feel
in a
was
like it's
year,
been a
though.
year.
I
right,
know, right?
See,
Like,
right.
I literally
a
have
lot
memories
has
of
happened.
sitting here like bawling my eyes out at Rex
Right.
taking his helmet off. So,
Oh,
it does
jeez.
not feel like
Yep,
it's been that long.
that was
Ooh.
that was hard.
Yeah.
That was not fun, but it was
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
all at the same time.
yeah. And Jason, because you are such a clone, clearly a clone fanatic, and you know a whole bunch about it, we do want you staying here and joining us for this segment, and we want your opinions and all your thoughts on this final season.
All right.
So
Yeah, I'm here. Let's
let's
do it.
let's do it. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. So just we'll go around, all three of us, our initial impression of the final season. The first things we felt and thought initially watching the season. Jason, you can start us off actually. What was your initial impression?
Uh, so starting, um, we're super excited to see Anakin and Obi-Wan in their episode 3 look. Just
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. The animation's
Oh.
amazing. Anakin's snarky attitude is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then like honestly, a lot of people don't like the episodes with Ahsoka that were with the sisters. I thought they were okay. I think it for me it was because we're seeing Ahsoka, for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't care how I get Ahsoka. I was there for it. I was absolutely happy to see it. I was like,
Yeah.
yes. And then as soon as Battle of Mandalore, Darth Maul,
Yep.
and Order 66, it was like hit after hit for me. I couldn't take it. It was amazing. It was absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. And then like Darth Vader at the end. What?
Yeah.
Absolutely
Ooh, yeah.
beautiful. It was
Oh boy.
amazing.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Yeah.
the first couple episodes were the introduction to the Bad Batch, and that was awesome. Love the Bad Batch. My first actual character that's not an OC that I want to cosplay is actually Wrecker, but
Oh yeah.
that just thinking about it stresses me out. So,
I'll tell you
but
now, getting into armor and wearing armor, it takes commitment. You have no
yeah.
idea.
And that's just not. I just don't think that's commitment I have right now on February 24th, 2021. But tomorrow's a new day, so we'll see.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Never know. Never know. But yeah, Jordan, initial impression of the whole season.
It was, like Jason said, I'll take Ahsoka in any form. I don't really care. I just felt like it was like 3 or 4 episodes. I would have been fine with just 2 episodes because I was like, okay, like let's get to Mandalore.
Let's get to
But
it's the Clone Wars.
Yeah, but when we got to Mandalore, I was like, wait, slow down, stop. Like,
Yeah. It came
um,
real fast. Yeah.
yeah, especially when they capture Maul and they put him on the cruiser to go back to Coruscant, and the music gets real, like,
Ooh, that
I
music.
guess ominous, and Ahsoka
I
gives
was
her little
gone.
speech about being a soldier ever since she was a Padawan, and then
Star
the
Wars
officer
score.
was like, the officer was like, Commander Rex, you have a transmission, and I was like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Like,
Let's
he
just
goes
stop
backwards.
here.
Like, I mean, we don't have to go there. And then, of
Yeah.
course, we went there. I like to pretend I don't know what was happening, or I like to pretend it's going to turn out a different way, even though I know full well that it's not.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Revenge of the Sith every time I watch it. I'm like, can I just turn it off? Like before, everything's good. From there, they all lived happily ever after.
Also,
Yeah.
You mean to tell me Anakin sat on that hologram with Padme in the first episode of the season 7, and he didn't know she was pregnant? She didn't know she was really, really, Anakin,
he's
really.
pretty strong with.
He's like, you're getting kind of pudgy, huh?
Yeah, like no, Anakin, he probably did say something crazy like that. She was
the
like,
best way to bring
of course.
It
He's like, man, you
So
need to work
good.
out. You've been sitting at a desk too long.
right, you need to come do some aggressive negotiations or something.
Her and Obi-Wan literally would have the same, like, really?
Yeah. Fully. You're like, are you serious? You serious?
I'm sure Rex was like, come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like, because my initial impression of the whole thing too is just everyone's character in every point of an episode was just so detailed and thought about. Like we were just joking, but it's so true. It's like Rex's character arc through the Bad Batch and Ahsoka's arc, whether you like the episodes or not, her arc through the Martez sisters episodes was incredible. Like what she was thinking, having to process about herself, discovering who she was outside of the Jedi Order, like that whole process was so intricate and thought about and detailed. And then
I still think we needed that for Ahsoka to transition into, in one way or another, coming back to the Order. You know, she's still, you know, if we left her walking away and then came back to her just being like, yeah, I guess I'll help, whatever, it would have been a little jarring. So no, I still think that we needed it. So
and I think it was a good like adventure, interesting kind of, not lighthearted, but it kind of was, and compared to the last arc, because the last 4 episodes was an emotional roller coaster and a half. Like holy wow. So I like that contrast of the 3 different arcs.
So what would you guys say is your favorite arcs? Because you know we have 3 arcs. Which one would you say was your favorite?
Jason, you can go first on this one.
Just for season 7?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I gotta say, okay, so I really like the ending. Like, absolutely, it's moment after moment of like we're getting closer to, you know, the end of the Republic and the beginning of the Empire. But I gotta say, all that stuff on Mandalore with that, you know, with especially with Maul was, I think that it definitely my favorite. Just seeing Maul just kick some ass, especially like his new lightsaber, and that fight between Ahsoka and Maul is every time I will just watch that on YouTube, just be like, oh, it looks so good.
Best lightsaber duel in the whole of Star Wars, in my opinion.
So like, it's a contender. It definitely is.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
I pretty much feel the same way about, you know, that last arc, just because for me at least, it made the Purge in 66 and everything in Revenge of the Sith that much more intense. Because you know, before this you had Revenge of the Sith, you just had Revenge of the Sith, and it was a good movie, and of course you were sad that Anakin turned, but
it feels kind of fast when you're watching Revenge of the Sith and that's all you have.
Right.
It feels like it happens right away and you're like, whoa, slow down.
Right.
But definitely that longer draw into it is like, like it doesn't. It still kind of comes out of nowhere, but it's not nearly as like jarring.
Well, especially
when you know it's coming.
For 4 episodes, he's like, for the 4 episodes, at some point in the 4 episodes, he's like, "It's happening," and you're like, "What the hell?" Like,
here we go. Strap in.
Yeah, and then the shot where Ahsoka's looking up at the sky after she defeats Maul. That was when I started like tensing up, and I was like,
the only possible conclusion is
like,
we know what comes next. We know what comes next. We have a victory, and now we have to have the fall.
Yep.
I'm not joking. I'm getting goosebumps talking about this and having to think about these emotions again.
Yes.
Oh man, what
the
a
trauma.
But, the trauma. But I agree. It's so funny because it's traumatic and it's intense and it's sad and it's like sorrowful at the end, and you go on this whole, especially that whole last 2 episodes of the Mandalore arc.
Yep.
And that whole battle and conversation and dialogue between, once the clones are in Order 66 and Ahsoka and Rex going like, how the hell do we get out of here? Like that was just insanely good storytelling, and I just think the way that whole thing played out was incredible. So as upsetting as it is, best arc. Yeah, I agree.
It was. Yeah, I mean, you know, every arc is great in its own way, but that last one really hammered the point of the fall of the Republic.
Right?
Can we talk about the name of the last episode? Like halfway through the episode, I was watching it on Disney Plus back to back, and it didn't show the title, so I was like, all right, let's do it. And I like had to pause it halfway through for to get a snack or something, and I saw Burying the Dead, and I was like, no.
I heard that hurt.
Every time I see it, I'm like, I can't believe Disney even like like
that's
they
intense.
were like, you know what, it's Star Wars, we're just gonna let them do their thing, they know what they're
Yeah.
doing, but at the same time it's like, whoa, you're just gonna go out and say it like that, okay then.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
And what the other one, Victory and Death.
Victory
Ooh,
and Death,
oh,
yes.
ooh, that's
The Burying the
That's a
Dead
good
this
title.
kids show?
The
How the
music
heck-
Burying the Dead.
Exactly. See, that's what I tell people when they ask it, because I remember when Clone Wars first came out, when I was watching it on Cartoon Network, and
Yeah.
the Kit Fisto episode where because that's the first episode I ever saw, was where his apprentice gets killed by Grievous and he goes up and grabs Grievous with the dual lightsabers.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is dark. Oh my god.
I would not.
This is on Cartoon Network. What are you
child this
doing?
Show.
Oh yeah, Cartoon Network. They decided they at one random point they were like, just destroy.
They were like, it's animated. We can get away with whatever we want.
Yeah.
No,
They were
absolutely.
just-
Let's
Fine.
just go ahead and have
They were
Savage
just
like
ripping.
bull ram his horns into somebody. Absolutely. Let's do
Yeah.
that.
Kids love that. That's
yeah.
what they want these days, right?
I
So good.
yeah, but like I was saying about Burying the Dead song, it makes me so sad, but I can't stop listening to it because it's also just so beautifully made. Like
Yeah,
It is.
absolutely.
I have to be
Yeah.
careful when shuffling my music, because if it comes on, I'm stopped in my tracks, and I just
Yep.
have to
Right?
take
You
a
just,
moment,
like,
take
sit
my hat
there
off, and
and you just,
remember.
like, going,
I have it saved audios on TikTok to use at some point. Don't know when I'm gonna use it or how I'm gonna use it, but it's in there ready for me to use.
It's there, yeah. I think I've used
Yeah.
it once, and every time I I'll get a comment that's like, "Hey, you didn't have to do that," and I'm like, "I know,
Yeah.
but I did."
"No, it's here anyway.
I really
Now-
did though.
It's been a year. It's been 12 months. I mean, a lot has happened in 12 months for everyone in every sort of way. So I'm just assuming you guys rewatched the season since its release and since you
Oh,
first
yeah.
watched
Oh, I've seen it like 6 times.
Yeah.
it. Okay,
Sometimes
I
I'll just
actually-
that was
I'll be
my
like, "What
answer.
should I?
just
I need
wanted
to put on
tone it
something
down.
Star Wars to keep me motivated."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, let's watch
Okay,
that."
season 7. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what have you realized, or on your second rewatch or whatever, or seventh rewatch, what have you noticed? God, I didn't notice that before. That's incredible. That's amazing. Or that's interesting. What have you noticed or picked up from since its release?
The first time I watched it, I didn't catch it. But the second time, as I was rewatching, I was because like the first time I was like, all right, let me just be in my emotions and I'm just gonna experience this. But the second time I was like, now I have a more analytical mind. I'm gonna break it apart. The scene when Ahsoka is leaving, I believe it's Coruscant,
Mhm.
and Anakin like senses her on the ship.
Oh,
It's the same as Darth Vader sensing Luke Skywalker
Yeah.
when he's leaving, and he's like, "Let it go." I was like, "Oh, Anakin let his
So
baby go
true.
twice."
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't notice it the first
Oh,
time, and I was like, has anyone else seen this? Yeah,
Yeah.
next time you go back and watch it,
Oh,
I'm sure
yeah.
there's like a YouTube like comparison video somewhere. But
Yeah.
it hits different the second time around. There's a bunch of scenes in. Okay,
Mm,
bye.
that-
My helmet just
Yeah.
fell.
Yeah. Oh,
But no, there's a bunch of scenes in season 7 that are like that are either callbacks or call forwards.
Yeah.
But they're
Oh, that's a
ooh.
beauty of Star Wars. That mirroring where
Yeah.
they mirror some sort of a
like George Lucas says, it's
emotion
like
or quote.
poetry. It rhymes.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
yes, exactly. What about you, Jordan? Did you pick up on any little things like that? Any little scenes where you're like, "Ooh, didn't notice that thing"?
So me and my partner, we were watching it on Valentine's Day. I know, sappy. We were watching Star Wars on Valentine's Day. That was actually our
You
first
got it. I did.
date.
I did.
Oh, that's how you get the juice flowing.
Yeah.
Get that groove.
We were watching it and I noticed how there's a song in the soundtrack. It's called "Race You to the Surface." It's when Ahsoka races Rex to the surface of Mandalore, and there's a part where when she lands on the platform, you can hear the song and you can hear a sample of Rey's theme playing.
Ooh.
Like if you put them together, they almost go perfectly together. Like I need to
Yeah.
find a way to do that on TikTok or edited audio
That's
for it
incredible,
so people
yeah.
There's
can,
that poetry.
yeah,
There's that poetry.
because he
musical
still
poetry.
doesn't hear it, and I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm not
Yeah.
crazy.
I know my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't doubt me.
yeah. No, but
Yeah,
watching
that's
it
super
with
interesting.
Revenge of the Sith also was like mind
Mm,
blowing and
yeah,
like perception changing in and of itself.
yeah,
Because even his his on TikTok his name is Raven Relic. If you don't follow him,
yeah.
he's great. But I may be a little biased, but he's great anyway. Um, we were watching the cuts together, and we didn't realize certain things were happening right on top of each other. Like
Mm,
Anakin killed Dooku, and then Obi-Wan was like, "Oh, Anakin killed Dooku." I thought he was still on the Jedi Temple when he said that, but then when you watch it together, it's like, oh no, he's like on Utapau about to go kill Grievous. Like
Yeah,
he's
you
on his
notice
way
how
there.
like tightly the events are happening as they're happening. No,
these
I had the
Yeah.
same
within
feeling.
hours.
I
Yeah.
was like, kill Dooku already. Wow, that was
Yeah.
fast. And then
Yeah.
you
Like
realize you're like,
you
well,
had
no,
you had
Desperate.
just
a lot
left.
of
We had
stuff has
just left you,
happened.
Anakin. What
So
the heck?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This escalated quickly.
Yeah.
yeah,
The
Yeah.
my just a side tangent. My favorite cut that this Reddit user did was he put, Anakin left and then Ahsoka went to go to Mandalore. But before we go to Mandalore, you jump to the first 5 minutes of Revenge of the Sith when it's the best opening in any Star Wars movie ever.
this is where
Yeah.
the fun begins.
Yeah.
Yay.
And that's where I was like, oh, okay, so we're just getting right into this. Okay. So that
Mm,
way, they basically synced it up to where it makes sense for, once you think about it, you're like, oh, Obi-Wan was here about to do this. And then, of course,
yeah.
when Ahsoka senses Anakin's betrayal and all that, it's happening right then and there.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think one thing, it's almost like I knew it, but I had to go away and read about it and then come back and listen to it. But that moment where Ahsoka feels what's happening and he's
Yeah.
Anakin and she's standing on the bridge of the cruiser. And then so it's Hayden Christensen's voice, and then it cuts to Matt Lanter's Anakin
Yeah.
voice. Like it's like I was so emotional that I didn't realize it, but then on the second watch, I was like, oh my god, that's beautiful. Like to use those, even though it's like two different voices, really, it's like the soul of Anakin though. So it's like the Clone Wars Anakin and the movie Anakin really coming together to be like, this is the same person. This is the
Yeah.
same person that we see about to do all this crap, like that she's feeling and she's sensing. So I love
It's
that
the
part.
perfect way to tie together because whenever I watch Clone Wars, I see Clone Wars Anakin completely different from like Revenge of the Sith Anakin
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, I've
until
always
season
felt that.
7. As soon as
Yeah.
season 7 starts,
Yeah.
you're like, oh wow, these
Oh.
like all that stuff that happened in the Clone Wars that happened to Anakin, and now he is this person, and
Yeah.
that also means he's gonna put on the suit. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
I felt the same way. Yeah, no, I felt the
Yeah.
exact same way.
Yeah.
So I talked a little bit about my most surprising element of
Mm.
the season, which was how fast and like intense everything was happening. So I want to hear from you two. What was the most surprising elements of this season to you?
Jason?
So I had watched all of Clone Wars leading up to season 7, and then I was like, you know what? I need a little more clone action. So I watched Rebels to get like old Rex and stuff.
Yeah.
And the moment when Rex says like, he's like, I didn't betray my Jedi, I was like, yeah, we're gonna see Rex kick some ass. And then Order 66 happens. I was like, Rex, put your gun down. What are you doing? Stop.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he kind of didn't betray his Jedi, but like for a minute there, he did.
My
I was
favorite.
not prepared in any way. I was like, maybe
Yeah.
Rex's chip is malfunctioning, or
Yeah.
maybe he just didn't have one or something. But no, sure enough, he pulled his gun, and he was
My
crying when he
thing
did it.
was I started freaking out when I didn't notice he had a scar on his head from removing the chip. Whenever he was like,
I didn't even notice that.
I
I did
was
not even
like,
Yeah,
think to
because in
wait.
notice
Rebels
that.
he's got that scar.
yeah, because in Rebels he
Oh
had the
my
scar. So watching
gosh.
season 7,
Yeah,
I
clearly
was
it had been
like,
removed. Yeah.
what? Yeah, I was like, where? I thought you like,
Ooh, wow.
what's the T-Rex? Like,
Excuse me.
hello. And then when he was like, yes, Lord Sidious, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he didn't remove it. I'm upset.
Yeah.
I hate it here.
Yeah, I don't like this place anymore.
Yeah, so good. Actually, speaking of clones, I think that whole there's so many surprising things of that last arc. But actually, just going back to the Bad Batch, Echo. Echo.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I was surprised by that. I was not emotionally ready for that to happen.
Nope.
And like the whole time they were like at Skeko Minor going, oh yeah, this is like his number. I'm like, oh yeah, like you just maybe they have
Yeah.
his like brain or something. I don't know. I was
Mhm.
just like, it's not Echo. And then it's just like, he's alive, here he is. And I'm like,
That's another one of those like
care.
dark
Doesn't
things
care.
though. Like it's like you open this thing and there's
He's
it
basically a
was
zombie.
morbid.
Like
a
he,
half dead
yeah.
clone in there, and I'm like, oh my god! Like I was like, okay, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Disney.
I was like, so they made like a mock season 7 that you could watch. That's like really low
Yeah.
animation, but it has all the voice acting and stuff.
Oh
I
yeah,
watched that and I was like, yeah, this is basically the Bad Batch arc. But I was like, they've got to change it. They got to change it. Like, there's no way that Echo's going to be in there because the people that have seen that will see that coming. They knew that we were going to see it coming, and in doing so, it became like a twist on a twist. Because like, it's not going to be Echo. I was like, watch, it's not going to be Echo. They open it, it's Echo. I was like, my boy, it's him.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
It's just
Yeah,
like,
I was still surprised. Like
Yeah.
subconsciously it was
Oof.
there, but at the same time, it was like, I wasn't expecting him to be there. So that was,
yeah.
yeah, that's so great.
That's
So
a
great.
surprising moment and a half for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, wow, that a lot of Clone Wars is here. Do you think, and like clearly we have all these emotions and feelings for it. Do we think that this was the perfect ending for Clone Wars? I mean, it's ended like twice before this, and ended, cut, it's coming back. Oh no, it's not. We could just have this little time, and then it's coming back again.
Yeah.
Do you think season 7 was the solid ending you wanted? And
Yes,
the
but I
whole
want more.
series?
I think
can
I
never
think
get enough.
season
Clone
7
Wars.
is like the definitive end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much for like everyone, but at the same time, one of the things that I love about the Age of the Republic and Star Wars in general, just because of how big it is that it's not always just Anakin and Luke's and Rey's story
Yeah.
and like the very few people that are connected to them, but it could be everybody in the universe. So
Yep.
Clone Wars is over. Yes, Clone Wars has been over for a long time, but with that being like the definitive end and leading directly into the Age of the Empire, there's still so many other clones and people that were connected to the Clone Wars that we could see in the future. So no matter what, we could be seeing some amazing stuff coming, and continue to feel our horrible feelings about Order 66 with
Yeah.
some of our other favorite clones.
Which I
So-
think.
So
I
yeah,
th-
it's an end, but also, you never know.
I think the Bad Batch is going to do just what you said, because if you watch the trailer, it's like
Yeah, they're
Okay.
clearly some of it
Wow.
is Republic and some of it is Empire.
right
And
Yeah.
because you have Palpatine.
It's that
making
little
his
transition
speech.
that I think we all needed, because
Yeah.
there really is no decent transition between Clone Wars, like the Age of the Republic, to the Age of the Empire. It's just
Yeah.
for us, it's like Revenge of the Sith is usually the end, and then next thing you know, Luke Skywalker is
He's looking
you
up
know,
at the twin sons.
he's going down to the cantina with Obi-Wan. So it's
Yeah.
we need some of that transition. I think Bad Batch is going to be not only one of the first times it's happened, especially for those people that haven't read Legends or anything like that, but also seeing it from a clone's perspective is always the best for
Yeah.
me personally.
The chat
it's-
just
I
made
think
me
it's gonna be
feel
amazing.
sad again because a lot of them are like, I miss Hardcase, and I'm like, me too.
Sorry. Yeah.
I also miss Fives, but I didn't want to go there, but I guess I'm gonna go there.
I miss Jesse. I
Fives.
didn't think. Okay, watching season 7 with Rex, like Jesse, like please, we can't do this.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka being like, I'm not gonna kill my brothers. I'm not. We're gonna figure this out. And then it literally still ends with just Ahsoka and Rex. It's like, you can't do that to me. You can't say you're gonna save them and not save them.
Dave Filoni and I gotta have a little talk.
Yeah, Dave,
Little chat.
you've treated us very well, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got to give us a win, man. You can't take
Yeah.
Grogu from us at the end of Mandalorian as well, and then not. Come on,
And
man.
then turn around, right? Like, honestly, who does Dave think
Yeah.
he is? Honestly,
Oh.
He's got that cowboy hat, and
Yeah, it
he
makes sense.
clearly
He's
knows
gotta
what he's
have it.
doing, so he wears it proudly.
yeah.
But it's so interesting though that he can make us feel so like aggressively upset, but in such a good way.
It's such a
'Cause, like,
thing. Yeah, I've never been
It's so
so
upsetting.
like aggravatively thankful towards someone before.
Right?
Right.
It's like, thank you for this terribly
One of my
upsetting
favorite
event.
things about Dave too is that he's like the master of bringing back some of the biggest legends in the non-canon Star Wars.
Yep.
To be like, oh, Disney was like, no, we're just gonna wipe that off, and Dave's like, can I just like pick a few things out of there? We're just gonna bring those back.
Right? Oh, it's incredible. He's we could do a whole episode on
Wonderfully
just how great
frustrating
Dave
man.
Filoni is. Yeah, wonderfully frustrating. Good description. Good description.
Now, with all that being said, Jason, thank you so much for joining us today. And before we let you go, can you just tell everyone where they can find you to keep up with you after this lovely episode?
You guys can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Captain Sella or Jason Solo. They both work. The Republic Rangers have an Instagram. That's where I do most of my business. But also, if you want to see what the stuff I'm working on, that's where to go. And soon, hopefully, the Rangers will be starting a YouTube channel where we can do like some more long form stuff where we work together.
Yes.
Yeah. I also have a Patreon, but I don't really have anything to offer right now. So if you want, you can go there, but you don't have to.
We'll keep you posted. We'll let everyone know about that when more stuff is coming through. Well, yeah, thank you so much again for your time and a wonderful Clone Wars deep dive and hanging out with us and chatting about it. We really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. This was amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be talking to you later about my ideas.
Let's get it.
So, but we will see you later, my friend.
Later.